Amid Donald Trump's efforts to eviscerate the federal government, the people Trump and Elon Musk have implanted at the Central Intelligence Agency are doing their part by selling out the names of new hires. The New York Times first reported that the CIA sent the White House an unclassified email listing of all employees hired over the last 2 years to comply with an executive order to shrink the federal workforce. The list included first names and the first initial of the last name of the new hires who are still on probation. It included a large crop of young analysts and operatives who were hired specifically to focus on China, whose identities are usually guarded because Chinese hackers are constantly trying to identify them. One former agency officer called the reporting of names in an unclassified email a counterintelligence disaster. Joining me now is former CIA Director John Brennan, MSNBC senior national security and intelligence analyst. Director Brennan, I can tell you that when we saw this headline, our heads nearly exploded over here in Readout World. I can only imagine how shocked and outraged you are, but can you just break down for us what the danger of what they did is?
Well, there is quite a bit of danger to what appears to have been a careless and reckless use of this information and passing it on an unclassified system. Many individuals who join the CIA enter the agency undercover, and so therefore their employment is not known to others, including family and friends. And because they're going to be engaged frequently in various activities around the globe that you want to not have any association with the CIA. Now, according to the press reports, all the hires of the last 2 years, I mean, this could include individuals, as pointed out, the sort of China experts, that have very specific and uncommon ethnic names or an unusual spelling of their names. And they have relocated to the Washington, D.C. area. And so the Chinese counterintelligence experts will go together and put all the pieces that they can pick out from either this unclassified email as well as from other things that are available in the digital dust as a way to identify individuals who now may be working for the CIA. So again, it can compromise the identities and compromise the future professional capabilities of these individuals who have joined the CIA. And now it looks like, since it's focused on the last 2 years, this is part of, again, the Trump administration's revenge activities against individuals that may have been hired during the Biden administration.
Right. And I mean, I'm old enough to remember when Hillary Clinton was dragged through the mud. And in some cases, Republicans still complain about her having some C-marked material inside of the information in her, inside of her server, the server that she had at home. There's been no allegation that she's ever disclosed or exposed CIA assets in this way. And it does seem that part of this is their sort of anti-DEI crusade. It doesn't make sense to me, if this is the plan, and we don't know this is why they are looking for this list, that you want to have only non-ethnic people in the CIA, that you don't want to have people with a background that is relevant to the countries that they're going to be working in, that you want to have people who have Chinese ancestry, who know the language, who have family connections. Like, don't you want that diversity in CIA work? Is it really better to have just only white Christian males who love Trump?
The CIA cannot do its work unless its workforce is diverse. It has that diversity that is so important for the CIA to operate worldwide, to be able to operate in Asia and Middle East and other places that have not just the linguistic and maybe ethnic sort of, association with various parts of the world or countries, but also have a cultural familiarity with what it is that they're doing overseas. So when I was CIA director, I really emphasized the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion because, it just makes good business sense. It makes good professional sense to have people who have all different backgrounds and experiences and looks and characteristics. So yes, if this is something that is just designed to try to uncover individuals who have come in under what they purport to be DEI initiatives. Clearly, this is going to hurt the CIA's ability to carry out its very vital national security mission. And I'm sure it has sent shockwaves through the agency. They're already, I think, reeling as a result of some of the things that are going on in this administration. The new team at CIA is there for, 2 weeks only? There are thoughtful ways to do some of the things that they want to do, like reduction in workforce. They put out this notice to CIA that people can resign. That is just very ham-handed.
It's not really a buyout. They keep calling it a buyout. Essentially, it's resign on your own on the hope that you will get 8 months' pay. It's a conditional sort of offer. And an aide to CIA Director John Ratcliffe said the agency is freezing the hiring of job seekers who have already been given a conditional offer. So they're freezing hiring, telling everyone who works at the CIA, feel free to please leave. How are we supposed to defend our national security if they kick everyone out and then only hire back people who have pledged eternal allegiance to Donald Trump? Like, I just don't understand the logistical, how this actually is supposed to work to make us safer as a country. I don't get it.
Well, there are just so many years of experience that CIA officers need in order to carry out their duties, fully. And if you remove those individuals, you're really going to not have that capability for the CIA to carry out its mission in far-off corners of the world. There are thoughtful and appropriate ways to do workforce reduction if there are certain disciplines or job categories that you no longer need as many people of. But this across the board, it's just, again, it's hard to understand how the leadership of the CIA really believes that this is going to enable the CIA to continue to carry out such a vital mission, particularly at a time when we face such global challenges. And so, again, I think it just, it's hard to explain.
I would say that, the CIA isn't obviously perfect and has had a history that includes being really wrong about Iraq. But part of that is not understanding culturally what is going on in the Middle East fully. You would think you'd want more people who might be able to help not get things wrong. Do you also fear, as some FBI agents who've had the same kind of disclosures threatened, that this could be used by Donald Trump, who, let's remember, did illegally take home classified data that we still don't know what all he had? This feels like he himself, on a national security level, is not careful. And now, if he wanted to retaliate against CIA individuals, FBI individuals, he and these 20-somethings and teenagers who they're letting access this information could really have at it. And they've got a social media place with which to do it if they wanted.
It's worrisome on so many levels, Joy, in terms of people who really don't have the background or experience having access to very classified information and classified systems and what they might be doing there. And trying to bring people on board and making sure that we do the appropriate vetting, that we do the background investigations for them so that we can entrust them with this nation's secrets. But if you're going to really, reduce the size of the workforce so rapidly, like we're doing not just at the CIA, but also FBI, Department of Justice and other places, the government is going to be without, again, the requisite background experience that is necessary on the law enforcement front, on the intelligence front, national security front. So, again, this is just, something that is really quite worrisome.